Episode 9 is said to hold many different pieces of Jedi and Sith lore by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing I will say that a lot of fans are looking forward to seeing in this movie is exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to utilize all of the different pieces of the Jedi and Sith lore, and exactly how that's going to move some of the characters like Rey and Kylo Ren forward into this story. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with Rey, the Lost City, and the First Jedi. Specifically, a description of Rey inside of the Lost City in front of the First Jedi statue. It's described that Rey is touching the statue and feels a powerful presence. It's described that the force surrounding the statue is very strong, offering Rey a new power of some kind, and making her more connected to the force. It's described that Rey also begins to hear the words of the ancient Jedi code in a similar fashion to how she heard voices on Ahch-To. Additionally, it's said the power that Rey learns from the statue is said to be an ancient one, and it's described that Luke also learned a new power on Ahch-To through the Prime Jedi Mosaic in The Last Jedi. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this and as to why I'm so interested when it comes to the Jedi and the Sith lore in Episode 9, which I believe is very important in the Skywalker saga because when you think about the Skywalker saga, a lot of it has all to do with Jedi and Sith, and that's exactly what J.J. Abrams wants to implement into this movie in order to make it feel more true to the prequels and the originals. Now, mind you, both Kylo Ren and Snoke are not Sith, and that's exactly why it was disconnected from that concept. So now, going into the Lost City, it's going to offer that dynamic once again, and once more in the Skywalker saga. Now, the first thing that I do want to go over is how the First Jedi statue is just not a normal statue. It's also a statue that is very strong with the Force. It seems like it's something similar in a sense to like a cave and how it's strong with the dark side. In this scenario, it's basically the statue is very strong with the light side of the Force, offering Rey some guidance and knowledge of the Force itself and a new ancient power. Now, it's indicated that, both Rey and Luke Skywalker learned something new from the First Jedi statue and the Prime Jedi Mosaic. So I always thought to myself, and this is starting to make sense now, you guys ever realized in Episode 8 when Luke is trying to reach out to Leia as to why the camera, moves down and focuses on the Prime Jedi Mosaic as it starts to vibrate, showing the water rippling? I always wondered why, they did that, why they focused on that mosaic. And now it makes sense, is because apparently Luke Skywalker learned of a new power from the Prime Jedi Mosaic in the First Jedi Temple. Now Rey is going through something similar in a sense, where she's learning of a new ancient power through, of course, the Force that's radiating from this ancient statue of the First Jedi within the Lost City. Now, like I say, I'm starting to wonder on whether or not Luke Skywalker actually learned the Force projection technique through the Prime Jedi Mosaic. So it really only makes one wonder exactly what Rey is learning from the First Jedi statue, what kind of ancient power it's really going to be. The next thing is something that really does interest me a lot when it comes to the Jedi Code, is that Rey begins to hear voices speaking the Jedi Code to her, the ancient Jedi Code. Now, you guys may recall that in The Last Jedi, if you listen very carefully, when Rey is following Luke Skywalker uphill and she looks back and she's looking at the tree, if you listen very carefully, if you do have the movie, if you listen very carefully, you can hear voices speaking out to Rey, basically luring her to the tree in order to discover the Jedi books, which would hence bring Luke Skywalker into the tree, which would then initiate that conversation between the two. So you can see how everything begins to connect and how it's like a butterfly effect. So with the First Jedi Temple and the First Jedi statue actually offering new knowledge to both characters of Luke and Rey, I think that this is a very different angle to a Star Wars film, and I'm not quite sure if this is something that was seen in Legends and or the EU. Again, like I say, the EU is massive, and there's, a handful of people out there that know everything, and I mean everything about the EU. So the EU, if you guys do know, if there's anything like this in Legends where a character learns of a new power or some kind of knowledge through a statue, please do let us know below in the comments. It should be very interesting for sure. To me personally, Jedi and Sith lore is what makes a Star Wars movie more interesting. That's just my point of view. I don't know about you guys, but when I look at The Last Jedi and how the marketing promised a lot of Jedi and Sith secrets, and that only touched on it very lightly, you know, in comparison to what the Japanese marketing was promising, how it would answer age-old mysteries of the past and the Force, and we never really actually got that in Episode 8. So now with Episode 9, it seems as though that J.J. Abrams is doing everything in his power to make up for what we did not get in, of course, The Last Jedi / Episode 8, in order to make a Star Wars film that is going to really feel like both the prequels, the originals, with some elements of the sequels involved, in order to really make this movie cater to all Star Wars fans around the world and on different mediums of this massive franchise. Anyways guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night to moon.